Can 5 counties decide the presidential election? How could you win or lose the presidency of the US in just these 5 counties? As the US plunges towards another presidential election, it's interesting to see just how tight the margins of victory are. Because of the strange way the US elections work, how many votes you get doesn't matter as much as where you get them. How states vote and how counties in those states vote really matters. Both of 2016 and 2020's elections could have delivered different results if just less than 0.05% of the votes cast have been different in specific places. Flipping or just adjusting the existing leaning of just 5 counties across the US could be enough to change the entire nation's result. In this video, we'll explain why this might happen and exactly how it could happen. Stick with us until the end. The Electoral Collage. To start, we have to ask, how do the US presidential elections even work? US citizens do not vote for their president directly. Instead, the president is elected via a system known as the Electoral Collage. When Americans vote on Election Day, they're actually telling representatives known as electors who to vote for in the Electoral College system. Every state has a certain number of electors based on the number of congressional districts and population. In total, there are 538 electors across the US. A president needs to win a majority of these, so 270 of them, to win the presidency. It's a winner-takes-all system. Whoever gets the most votes in a state gets all of that state's electors. That means a candidate who wins a state by a single vote will still get the entire state's electoral votes as if they'd won every voter. This convoluted system has plenty of critics. The wildly disproportionate electoral power of some states compared to others, the disenfranchisement of people in a state who voted for the losing candidate, and the fact that electors aren't always legally required to vote for who their state told them to, are all common criticisms. But, love it or hate it, this is how the system works. So, 270 votes assembled from winning the various states to secure the presidency. Blue, red, and swing states. So, how does this work in practice? While elections are held in every state, the result is usually a foregone conclusion. States like California, New York, and Vermont, which consistently vote Democrat, are safe blue states, while Republicans can count on places like Texas, Mississippi, and Arkansas as safe red states. This means that both candidates can confidently rely on getting a base number of electoral votes in any election. As of 2024, the Democrats might expect as many as 226 electoral votes to be guaranteed, while the Republicans are unlikely to be below 219. It's the swing states, the states that can go either way, that really matter, and will tip either candidate over the 270 threshold. Going into 2024, there are just 7 of these swing states whose result is up in the air. Those states are Arizona with 11 electoral votes, Georgia with 16 electoral votes, Michigan with 15 votes, Nevada with 6, North Carolina with 16, Pennsylvania with 19, and Wisconsin with 10. Both candidates are concentrating most of their campaigning in these states, since flipping these voters is really what matters. After all, if California is already going to vote Democrat regardless, what's the point in either party trying to campaign there? But we can go deeper. The 50 states are further divided up into 3,142 counties. Election results are tallied by county and thrown together to get the state's overall vote. But just like the states themselves, the counties are a mix of red, blue, and swing. Urban areas like cities and college towns are reliably Democrat, even in swing states. Meanwhile, Republicans still tend to carry the rural areas. Overall, even in swing states, as much as 80 or even 90% of the state's counties are already settled. So really, it's those tiny number of swing counties in the swing states that truly matter. The critical counties. A good way to show this is to use the most recent election as a base. So how does the 2020 election prove that just 5 counties could have flipped the race? Starting in Arizona, Biden narrowly won it by 10,000 votes in 2020. Arizona's biggest county by far is Maricopa County, which Biden carried in 2020 by 49,000 votes. This was similar to the 47,000 that Trump won it by in 2016. A swing of almost 100,000 votes from red to blue, and proof that those voters are up for grabs by either party. But if just 5,000 voters in Maricopa County, less than 0.1% of the population, had stayed red instead, then Biden would have still won the county but lost the state, handing its 11 electoral votes to Trump. Then there's Georgia, traditionally a red state. Changing demographics pushed it blue by just 13,000 votes in 2020. Georgia's largest county is Fulton County, which contains the capital of Atlanta. Democrats have the county locked down by a 46-point margin. However, with over 500,000 votes cast in that county alone in 2020, it would take less than a 2% change in Fulton's voting habits to erase the Democrat lead and turn the whole state red. Third, let's look at Nevada. Another tight race in 2020, Biden carried it by only 34,000 votes. Here, the places to watch are Clark and Washoe counties. Clark County has Las Vegas and most of the state's population, and usually goes Democrat by a few tens of thousands of votes. Meanwhile, with just 16% of the state's population, Washoe acts as the decider between Clark and the rest of Nevada's counties, which all go Republican. But even a 10% swing to Trump in both of these counties, to a grand total of about 17,000 votes, would have handed him Nevada. Take Wisconsin. In 2020, it was even narrower than Nevada, with less than 21,000 votes taking the state blue. If the Democrat lead in either one of its largest counties, Dane or Milwaukee, shrunk by just 10%, Wisconsin would have gone red. A hypothetical victory. So what happens if we put all that together? If the 2020 result was otherwise repeated in 2024, it would only take about 50,000 votes properly distributed across Maricopa County, Arizona, Clark and Washoe counties in Nevada, Fulton County in Georgia, and just one of Dane or Milwaukee counties in Wisconsin to deliver an entirely different president. That's just 5 counties out of a total of 3,142, and 50,000 votes out of a total of 155 million, or just 0.03%. Of course, there's other combinations too. Now, in reality, there's no way 2024's election is going to exactly repeat 2020's. There's always surprises, and no county ever delivers the exact same number of votes in the same distribution in every election. However, previous elections can inform the results of later ones, which brings us to the Bellwether Counties. What is a Bellwether County? Bellwether counties are swing counties that consistently vote for the winner in multiple presidential elections. They don't necessarily give candidates the votes needed to tip them over the edge in a state. Rather, these counties become representative of the rest of the U.S. as a whole, a microcosm of the whole nation condensed into a handful of counties. Winning them is an indication that a candidate will appeal to enough voters elsewhere in America to win, and candidates will pay special attention to their polling in bellwethers as a proxy for their performance across the nation. Between 1980 to 2012, 35 bellwether counties across the US successfully voted for the winner every time. However, recent elections seem to have collapsed the bellwether model. In 2016, just 19 bellwether counties backed Trump, cutting the number almost in half. In 2020, though, 18 of those bellwether counties continued to back Trump. That left just a single county in the whole of the US, Clallam County, Washington, with an unbroken streak of picking the president for the last 40 years. With deepening political polarization, the number of counties that are seriously up for debate is shrinking. In 1992, over 1,000 counties across the US were decided by single-point margins. By 2016, this shrunk to just 303. Like the states, more and more counties have the results already decided, and fewer counties truly matter. As we have seen, performing well enough in just a few of these counties can be enough to tip a candidate over the edge. But in a nation of 330 million people, is this fair? Should the people of these few counties really make or break the politics of the rest? Feel free to let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching our video. You can support our work by becoming a member on YouTube or on Patreon. Links below in the description.